For this lab, this will be lab 4 for Excel. What we're going to do here is we're going to be completing the formulas and the functions. So what we're going to do here, and I'll keep this up when we get to that point, we're going to set up some functions, we're going to use functions, we're going to use formulas, and then we're going to reformat some of the items in here, and we're going to sort it, and then we're going to spell check everything. That's one thing that I'm real stickler on, is spell checking. And there's extra credit in this lab. So let me go back here to our original spreadsheet of building a fence. What do you see that is missing there if you truly want to figure out what this is going to cost you? Wouldn't it be the tax? So I'm going to put the tax up here. And pardon me, I don't know the exact tax, but I would put it at 0.0875. Now, remember I said that you have to use decimals. So this would be 8.75%, right? Okay? So when I press enter, and I don't like it looking like this, so I'm going to go right up here to the number group, and I'm going to press the decimal point. Oh, it rounded. We don't want that 9% because it's not actually 9%. So I am going to increase the decimals right here, right in the number group, to 8.75%. So I'm going to add another column here with the tax, and then I'm going to put total with tax. And in this case, remember I told you that there's a time and a place to do the wrap text? Well, I don't want this column any wider, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right up here and I'm going to click wrap text. So now this row is very, very tall to compensate for the text that is in there. So if I want to know the tax on $41.88, how I am going to do that is I'm going to first put my equal sign, then I'm going to go over here and click. Remember, don't type in 41.88. And then I'm going to use the multiplier, and you use the multiplication symbol, and I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click on the tax rate. I'm going to click enter. So there is $33.66 on tax. So now what is the total with tax? The total with tax, wouldn't that be the total price plus the tax? So I'm going to click equals the total price, and remember I'm using the cell locations plus the tax. So the total for the 2x4s is $45.54. Remember how I said that you can use these fill handles? Well, if you have a range of cells here, and you can use the fill handle to copy both of those. Uh-oh, something didn't work. Well, let me show you what it is that did not work. I'm going to go over here to formulas, and I'm going to go to show formulas. Remember how I told you that Excel is a relative program. It is the formula is relative to the position of the cells. So I'm not really saying D4 here. What I'm saying is one cell to the left where it's highlighted times one cell to the right and 3 cells up. So that's what this formula is. So if I copy that down, look at what happens. One cell to the left, one cell to the right, 1, 2, 3. There's nothing there to multiply it by. That's why you got that error. So the way to fix this is to use what is called an absolute cell reference. When you want to have one cell stay the same, it not to move, you're going to use an absolute cell. I almost like to call it an anchor. So the cell that you want to always be the same is this tax rate up here. So for this part of the formula, you always want to use cell F2. So if I go over here into the F2 and I press my F4 key, function 4 key, okay, that's above the numbers, so use that F4, press enter. Now if I copy this formula down, you see what happens? It will always use, say, that F4. I can copy that the rest of the way down, all the way down, and see, as this cell, the first reference changes relative to the line that it's on, the second part of it, the multiplier, will always come up as the F4 value. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. And now what I can do is I can copy this down. I can copy the total with the tax. If I turn off my formulas, there's my values. See, no more errors. Okay? So I want to keep this, the absolute cell reference portions, on a separate video. So what I want to do is I want to go over to the video, to the one that we're working on. And I am going to have you do something different here on this. I'm going to have you insert two columns, one column here. So on the M, highlight the M, right click, and insert a column. And now what I want you to label this is tax. And you'll see on your instructions that they want you to do it differently, but this is the easier way. So what I want you to do, you need to enter another one. Enter two columns. And this one is going to be total price, or what it should be is just price. Okay, so we're going to have the price here. So what we have, where's the price? The price is right up here. So the price is going to be equal sign the count times the price, correct? So that's going to be $30. So what is the tax going to be? The tax is going to be your equal sign, the price, times the tax. And I'm going to press enter there. And now the total price with the tax is going to be your equal sign, price, plus the tax. So the total price, my order would be $32.55. So now once again on the formulas, if I show the formulas on this, what are we going to need to do? This I6 always needs to be anchored. It needs to be an absolute value. We always use that I6. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to press the function 4 key to make that absolute. So that will always stay the same. And over here, this 09, the tax rate, needs to stay absolute. So that will be, I didn't do that right here, the function 4 key, and I press enter. So now, if we have these set up as absolute, I can turn my show formulas off, and I can highlight all of those three, that range of cells, and copy this all the way down. Okay, so that is the total order price with the tax, $434. So I'm going to stop here so that if you need to watch this over and over again, it is not so long. So I'll see you in the next video.